Welcome back to our Nioh 2 100% walkthrough. On this episode we'll be going through the main mission called the Mysterious One Night Castle. We've got 7 Kodamas to collect and we also have 2 hot spring locations. My name is Azzavhar or Azza. Now let's get into the video. So just before we actually jump into the main mission itself, I'd recommend popping over to the Blacksmith and forging yourself some new armor if you haven't done that for a while. Just to show you what we are rocking for this mission. We've got all blue rarity shinobi gear. It's level 34, 35 and 36. We've also got a rotten rope cutter at level 22 for our Kasuragami. It also might be worth checking out some tempering. So just to show you how that works, you would go to Forge and then Tools, across to Smithing Materials and then forge some Umbracite, like so. And then go down to Temper. You can temper weapons or armor. In this scenario, I'm just going to show you some armor tempering. So we can go to these boots and we can switch out the special effects. For example, here we can switch out water resistance over for toughness, or we can choose the other ones as well, like poison resistance. You've got your options on the right hand side. I'm going to go ahead and choose toughness, switch that out. And what you'll notice is on the right hand side, the special effects that we can choose from have now changed. So every time that you change your special effect on your armor piece, it will give you different special effects that you can choose on the right hand side. So technically you can keep doing that as many times as you want to and re-rolling the special effects until you've got the ones that you want on your armor piece. Let's just check the legs. I'm going to switch out projectile damage taken for life plus 24. There we go. And you could change, for example, running speed with item drop rate. However, I'm going to go ahead and keep running speed. But like I mentioned, I wouldn't do that too much at this point because this armor is quite low level and we most likely will be getting rid of it and upgrading it quite soon. So I wouldn't temper too much, but it might come in handy for this upcoming mission, so I thought I'd mention it. I'd also top up on some salt, your arrows and your rifle ammunition. Make sure you're stocked up on those. We also have a dialogue option here for the blacksmith, so we can press I have a request and we can upgrade any one of these, whichever one you fancy upgrading. I'm going to go for additional special finds. There we go.
Come by again soon.
Special finds are on buy, and you can just go over to this section here and check those out there. Other than that, we should be good to go for the stage. So let's jump into that. We've also got some stuff that we need to do for our build. Change the Guardian Spirit. Change the Soul Cores as well. So on this stage, this is where our build gets even more powerful, because this is when we get access to the Phantom Guardian Spirit. So I'll show you a little bit how that works. Like I mentioned before, we're rocking a ninja build, and we'll be using those feathers. So we'll head over to that shrine, and we'll get set up with our build. Let's grab these items first of all. Got an item over here. Let's bag that. There we go. And then we can get set up at the shrine. So let's get cracking. We've got a level, so I'm going to pop that into Dex. You want to be focusing most of your points into Dex at this stage, if you're following this ninja build that we are rocking. And then we are going to change Guardian Spirit. Make sure to switch over to this this new one that we've got here. The Phantom Guardian Spirit that we got for completing the previous main mission. And then we're going to manage soul cores. So take off the soul cores from the previous Guardian Spirit. Don't need that one anymore. We previously had it on the Brute one. And we're going to switch those over to the Phantom. We could also do some Soul Fusion. I don't think I've mentioned Soul Fusion at this point, but basically how that works is you would pop a soul core into this slot, And then generally I pop a lower level soul core in the second slot. So we've got level 31 there, level 14 there, and then perform a fusion. Just going to pop through that a few times to level up. Like so. So you can do that with all your cores. For now, I'm just going to stay with that. That's fine. Just going to pop N key into right trigger and X, and then attune something else into the other one. It is worth mentioning that these also have special effects. Each of the soul cores has effects as well as the actual skill being different for each yokai that you equip, of course. I'm going to go for... this one has elemental damage up, so maybe I'll pop that in there. That should do for now. The only one that I really use, to be fair, is the Enki yokai ability. I'm just putting that one in there for elemental damage up. Other than that, let's ready up the ninjutsu. In fact, we've got a ninja point we can use, so we might as well use that ninja point in the skill tree. I'm going to pop that onto the lightning feathers. So here we've got the fire, the lightning, and the water feathers. Then we can ready those up. Just equip one for now, so we need to level up our dexterity so we can have a higher capacity. That is that. And then we need to go to shortcuts. Put the lightning one on, like so. And I'll show you how we use our build on these upcoming enemies. First of all, let's just take these out. The rifle will one-shot the guys with the helmets. Usually if you hit the guys with the helmets with a bow and arrow, the arrow will just take the helmet off first of all. And then you'll have to hit them again, so that's why I'm going for the rifle for these enemies. I think there's one up there actually as well, somewhere. Guy's being a pain, so I'm just gonna... There we go. Right, so let's clear this area out. We've got some yokai coming on up. So probably the yokai is a good place to show you how we'll be using this build and stuff, so we'll make our way to that yokai first of all. There's one just on the floor here, so just watch out for this guy. Pop him in the head. Just going to kunai that bad boy. Just grab the loot and stuff that we just got. Let's take this guy out. So, I'll show you on this one here. Basically, what we'll be doing, in fact, I'll show you on a yokai just around this corner instead. We'll move on to that guy in just a moment. So this one, we've got an enemy that's kind of patrolling. You can hide in the grass here. So we are currently in stealth mode whilst being in this tall grass. So basically, the idea with this is we apply purification first of all. So we would apply purification either by throwing the salt onto the yokai or by building up the purification with our attacks from our purification talisman on our weapon. And then we'll blast loads of feathers at the enemy. So it goes a little something like this. So that's the purification on the enemy. And then we blast a bunch of feathers. Like so, which essentially deletes the enemy off the face of the earth. So just to explain what we were kind of doing there, the feather animation Before I get into that, there's a yokai just here, so make sure to grab your... not yokai, sorry, your first Kodama just here. So make sure to grab that first Kodama just there. So, yeah, what I was saying before is the feathers animation is about 3 or 4 seconds. So when you use the feathers, you'll kind of be stuck in animation for a little while. But what we're doing is essentially taking advantage of the Phantom Burst counter, which is the quickest burst counter, which looks like this. It also costs 1 magic to use. So we're kind of like blowing the feathers, then using the burst counter, then blowing the feathers again, which means that we can spam a massive amount of feathers in a very, very short space of time. Like this. Water might not be ideal for this guy, I'll probably miss, but... so basically you can just delete enemies by doing that. It's really, really fast and really, really effective. It's even more effective if you've applied the purification to the enemy first, and then you use the feathers. The feathers also build up an elemental debuff. So it will combine the elemental debuff from the feathers with the purification, which then means they've got 2 debuffs on them, which then causes confusion, which basically if an enemy's got confusion on it, it will just get absolutely annihilated. So the idea is to get that confusion on and then just delete the enemy off the face of the planet. So that's pretty much this build. Hopefully that makes sense. Let's get cracking with the stage. We've got our first Kodama. We've drained the water so we can jump down. There's an enemy knocking about here somewhere. Gonna go for kunai for this one. There's an enemy above us as well, so just watch out for that one. I think this is like water element here. So technically, if you had some feathers that was fire or lightning, you could use it on this enemy. And it would just destroy him, but we've only got water feathers, so the water feathers won't be very effective against the water enemy there. Grab this treasure chest. So those enemies that you just saw there, kind of like, I don't know if you played Final Fantasy, but they're kind of like Flans from Final Fantasy. You've got different elemental Flans. Oh, we're getting an ally on this stage. Forgot about this guy, actually. So yeah, you can talk to him and he'll follow you around and help you out in combat for the vast majority of this stage. I'm going to pop some points into Dex. An item that we can grab there if you want to. Let's see if that's any good. Not too shabby. Be able to show you that elemental flan now. So we've got some more feathers, so what we can do is just get this guy to come down, then for example use lightning, just deletes them off the face of the earth. There we go. So you notice that when I'm using the feathers, pretty much every time I've used the feathers, I go straight into the Phantom Burst counter. I just find it's good to kind of like get in the habit of that. Although you don't have to do it technically, it just makes the animation insanely faster. water ones might miss like that. But yeah, basically that was just 2 water feathers, just deleted that enemy. I can smash these, you might get some extra ammo and stuff. Just gonna heal up, because like I say, when we play this ninja build, we are quite squishy, so you can get one shot and stuff quite easily. So got a beastie enemy coming up here, so watch out for this guy. So we've applied purification, back up, use some feathers. There we go. Switch to Sacred Arrow there as well. The Purification Arrows are really good against those particular kinds of enemies, those guys there. Usually 2 shots should take them out.
If only I could have died at Nobunaga's hands. Not like this.
Okay, so we'll just grab all the bits and bobs that are knocking around. You can drop this Sudama and an item there. Let's see what we get. Nice. I'll take it. So a couple of different ways that we can go. First of all, we'll check out this way over here. Switch to rifle. There's a few more enemies down here, so just watch out for these guys. Give them the old one too. Treasure chest here. Just going to grab some bits and bobs from this area. And we've got some Kodamas coming up quite soon-ish. So we'll go this way first of all. Bunch of stuff to grab down here. Watch out for all these enemies in here. There's quite a lot of them. Managed to get him. Although I couldn't really see too well, but there we go. I think there's some up above as well, so just watch out for this guy. This guy can be a bit of a spicy meatball, so let's watch out for him. Don't forget you can use your kunai and your shuriken. We've got quite a lot of those left, so you could also, you know, smash through those. If you can pop that guy with a rifle shot in the head, it'll finish him off. So feel free to do that if you can. Switch to bow and arrows. This guy is also a spicy meatball. Hits like a truck, so just careful. There we go. Got some majors locks in there. So a bunch of things we can do here. We can drop down a number of times, get some bits and bobs. So got a Kodama here. So let's grab this Kodama. Then we have another one just off this ledge. Oh no, maybe that's further up actually. That's further forward. Ignore that for now. You can drop down here and get this Summoner's Candle, which you can use to get your Guardian Spirit back. If you've died and it's on the floor, you need to pick it up. Summoner's Candle will bring it back. Up on Purification. A little bit late there on the burst counter. There we we go. I think there's a shrine quite close, or at least a shortcut back to a shrine. Just double check up here. I know, maybe that's further forward, so we'll just crack on. Let's watch out for this hole in the floor here, because it's quite easy to fall down that, and if you do, it's game over. Oh, the shrine's this way. So we can grab this lever here. And then this leads back to the shrine where we got this NPC ally. It's also cleared out the water down here. Use feathers on these bad boys. Did not remember about that snake lady there, so yeah, watch out for that one. We go for kunai shuriken there. There we go. So a couple of bits and bobs down here. We've got some smithing techs there as well, which is good. We can hand that into the blacksmith. A fake wall here. Let's just see what this grave says. They died for the yellow behavior. Let's go for blue. Don't like blue, so it must be red. Nice one. That is that, and I think this is a mimic, so let's go for a whistle. See if we can get this. My memory is sometimes a little bit hazy on these emotes. There we go. Got quite lucky with that one. It was just quite a straightforward emote that they did, so one of these bad boys. So we're going to go for purification. Feathers. There we go. We are out of feathers, so we need to rest at a shrine at some point soon, ideally. Fingers crossed we'll find one. I think there's some enemies knocking about here. Memory serves, it does. So they do take a while if you don't have feathers to use on those. They do take a while. Although I think fire bombs, if you got any bombs, they may come in useful. So this one, we can go up those ladders and bag this Kodama here. Brings us out here. I think this is the house that I was thinking of before, where you can drop down and get a Kodama off the side of it. Watch out for that when he turns around, because he does like a really quick claw. Also in Dark Realm here, so be careful, because these will be powered up in Dark Realm. Before we continue, it's probably a good idea to pop to a shrine, to be fair. So I'll try and head back and rest at a shrine before we go too far forward, because completely out of stuff. So what I would do is, before pushing forward to that next section, is just head back to this shrine. pop a cheeky rest here. Gonna pop a point into dexterity, level up that ninjutsu. We might be able to ready another lightning feather. Cannot just yet, but that's fine. We'll just hang on to that for now. And we'll head back in. So that was that bit that we dropped down earlier. I think that brought us up at those ladders where that Kodama was. But we're going to head up this way. Left up this slope. And break the horn. He's out of a key. You could also use feathers there to just delete him, but he's already almost dead, so... There's a surprise attack there. Bit of a spicy one there. But there we go. So yeah, left up here. Although I think there might be some items down this way. Oh, that's where we fought that like big-ish yokai before. Down there. That was the ladders that brought us up to the Kodama in the house. So yeah, let's go up this way. That was a well-timed stop there. I'll break the horn. Back up, use some feathers. There we go. Okay, so now we're going to scout out this house. A bunch of stuff we can do in this house. This is where that Kodama was from before. Where we came up those ladders and grabbed the Kodama. There's another one up here somewhere. Use sacred arrows if you have some. Pop this guy usually twice. 3 times in this instance. Will do. And then we can head on outside. So yeah, a bunch of things that we can do here. We can drop down this roof a couple of times. Spirit stone over there. So first of all, we shall drop this way. Just slightly onto that ledge and grab this Kodama. Then we have a treasure chest below us, I believe. Yep, there we go. That's that one. Head back around. Scampus there as well, just heard him. There we go. So you can drop down the ledge, go back up the slope. There's also a Kodama. Watch out for this guy up here. Ideally try and take that range one out first before engaging in combat with this one. A couple of enemies knocking about in this bit. You can just give them the old 1-2. Careful of the yokai behind us. Got Scampus in attack mode. There's a Kodama behind this chest. Make sure to grab that. That is that. Purification Talisman. You can technically get a few feathers in before this guy knows what's going off. It should reach. Let's test it. Maybe a bit closer. There we go. That guy's a bit beasty. But you can do some feathers from up the slope, and the fire ones will kind of like track him.
Lost their loved ones. It's no wonder some of them lost their minds. Am I right?
Okay, so a couple of different ways that we can go here. I think there might be some stuff up the top, potentially treasure chests. I'll just double check that in case there is. I think there's a way that you can go into the house and follow that round. Yeah, there is, so you can follow it this way. See that yokai? Before we even started the fight, the yokai was already pretty much dead there. We just used 2 feathers, water feathers and fire feathers to get that fight going. Yeah, so there's some stuff over this way you can drop off here and get some bits and bobs. In fact, the treasure chest might actually be below us, but there's an item there of some kind that we could get. Sacred Ash. It's there in the house. There we go, so that is that bit. And then that just leads back round to that section, so we will continue on down here. We've got a yokai there. There we go, some feathers and some kunai. Now we've got the treasure chest there. I think later on we can drop down there, but I think there's water in there at the moment. There is. So forget that for now. One more lever to pull. I think it's on the opposite side of this. Now this bit can get a bit spicy, and this is the first hot spring of this stage just here. Make sure to get this hot spring if you're going for all hot spring achievements.
That's more like it. Now I feel like we really know each other.
There we go. Well, getting the all hot spring achievement. So this is where you part ways with the NPC, so he'll just kind of chill there. Thought he was going to walk into the water then. Well, there we go. And there's a few enemies kind of knocking about in this section, so just be aware. I'm pretty confident there's stuff that jumps out at us. It's there behind the thing. I'm going to go ahead and opt for a shuriken and kunai there for those bad boys. So that is that. Not sure if there's any more that's hiding, and there's quite a few enemies that kind of like hide in bushes and stuff in this section. Could ideally do with some more feathers back if we had a choice. Let's have a look if we've got the shinobi box. We do have a shinobi box. I'm actually going to use one of those. Get some feathers back and stuff, so should help out. I'm going to use explosive rifle ammo. Out for this bad boy as well. This can be a bit of a pain. If it gets you in one of its wombo combos, it can be annoying. So just careful of those. Can be deadlier than they look, that's for sure. Okay, so we need to get that lever pulled, which I believe is in this direction. We're going to head into the dark realm here. Guy's got some insane range. I would heal up here and ideally be fully healed because these enemies can be pretty hardcore in this section. Yep. That's that one. I think there is another one though, unfortunately. Yep, we've got a ranged above us as well. This bit here is a bit of a death trap, so be very careful in this section here. Quite a lot of enemies that are all put together that's ready to kind of pounce on you, so. Couple of shurikens. Get out some more shurikens. Potentially just one more. Might be able to get the drop, but we'll see how it goes. Well. Oh no, he's back with the vengeance. I should be very, very careful with that fight because it is a dangerous, dangerous meatball. Ideally, I would go for feathers. If you had more feathers, I would opt for feathers on that one because it can be a bit of a spicy one. I thought we kind of won when he kind of yeeted himself into the water there, but yeah, unfortunately, he teleported back. So there we go. Let's grab the lever, and then we'll be wrapping up this stage soonish. So that gave us access to this section. Also provides a shortcut back here. Let's drop on down. I think there's a shrine down there as well, so that's a good idea to rest up at the shrine. There we go. And just a little bit left of this stage at this point, so let's use any spirit stones we might have. Pop through those bad boys. Pop through those. Right, okay, cool. That's looking good. I think we can also pop a cheeky level, so I'm going to aim for 35 dex. That's where, I think that's where our capacity kind of caps out on the ninjutsu, if memory serves. So a little bit of exploration down this section that we just cleared. I think there's some enemies hiding somewhere. Yeah, there's one here, so you can just line in this bad boy. Give him the old one too.
Don't let go. Don't let go.
A few more things down here. I'm going to be cheeky and rest so I can get my lightning back. Going to see if we can ready up one more. Not just yet. Although I think we have got a ninjutsu point. See if we can upgrade that, which might help us with the readying up. Yeah, it has, so we can 2 lightning now, which is always good. There's a few enemies kind of hiding about here, so just be careful. Gonna pop on purification preemptively. This guy can be a bit crazy. Hiding behind the rocks there. we go. That is that. I think there's another one down here. Oh, there's something down here. Yokai waiting for us. One of these bad boys. Gonna opt to finish that one with feathers. Those can be a bit spicy. They hit like absolute trucks, so that's why I was trying to keep a little bit of distance there and kind of like opt for the feathers and stuff instead of getting close and personal with that one. So that is that. Clear that out. There's no Kodama in that section. As far as memory serves, I don't think there's any fake walls. Accessory up there. One of those bad boys, you can just use your feathers to delete them if you want to. Don't use water against the water ones, use a different element, like fire for example. So that is that. Head up these ladders. Sudama here. We'll pop them. One of these, perhaps. Yokai water pot. That'll do. So a bunch of things over here. We've got some Kodamas to collect. Watch out for this bad boy. There we go. So, a couple of things we can do here. I'm going to try and pop this guy in the head. I think there's another one hanging off this ledge. There is. Pop that guy in the head. And then we have a Kodama, which I believe is down this way. Going to like drop off that ledge there. Grab this bad boy. I think there's just one more Kodama, if I've been counting correctly. Which is down here. Just there, look. Yep, there we go. That's all Kodamas for this mission. So make sure to grab that last one just there. And then we'll just clear out the last bit and fight the boss. Oh, there's one more hot spring actually as well, so we're grabbing that quite soon. Go for the kunai on that one. So let's follow this around. There is eventually a hot spring. I think there's one more shortcut that we can grab. The horn there, I think. There we go. Opted for the feathers there. And once again, with the feathers, I'm basically just doing that phantom burst counter every time that I use the feathers. Just makes that animation a lot faster, so you can spam them faster. There might be, I think this leads to the same way, but there might be an item tucked up here, so I might as well take a look. There's not. Yeah, I think this one just leads to the same way. But there is an item there, so I might as well bag that whilst we're here. There we go. So let's grab the item tucked away in this corner. A small spirit stone. The boss is that way, but we've got one more hot spring to get, and we'll rest up at a shrine first. So what we'll do is head down here. Grab this final lever just here. Clear the section that we can explore down there. I don't think there's too much down there, to be totally honest. Got one of these bad boys, just give them the old one too. And the final hot spring for this stage is here, so make sure to grab this hot spring just here. This is the second one of the mission. That is that. This shortcut leads to the shrine back at the start, so make sure to rest up there. We'll be fighting the boss in just a second and preparing for that. Just want to check down here. Not sure what enemy we just aggroed there. Yeah, I just want to check down here, see if there's anything of worth. I think we got a surprise enemy from before behind us, so we've got to be very careful there. That guy's followed us from the starting section. That could have been disastrous. Well, there we go. So large spirit stone down there. Nothing too spicy. I don't think there's any fake walls or anything as far as memory serves there. Okay, so boss fight coming on up. Let's do a little bit of prep for that, then we'll run straight into it. So what I would do for the boss fight is... This one is a yokai, so we can use salt to our advantage if we get the opportunity to use the salt. Sometimes it's not a good idea to use it, and sometimes it is. So what we'll be doing is we've got elixirs and then our feathers, and then we have sacred water, kunai, shuriken, purification talisman. What I'll do is also pop on this third shortcut. We've got salt, and I'll also put on plant fruit. So this increases our magic, or restores our magic basically, or our anima. So it's worth popping that on. The reason that magic is useful is because obviously we're taking advantage of that burst counter, the phantom burst counter. And every time that we use that phantom burst counter, it costs 1 magic. So if we find ourselves with 0 magic, we might need a pop of plant fruit, so we can continue spamming away. That makes sense. Other than that, we should be all good. Just check our ninja points. We're going to start, I think I'm happy with those for now. We can get some sneak attack stuff down here. But I also want to work towards getting some poison shurikens. And also some paralysis stuff as well. So we'll go for poison shuriken ×2. And I think we'll work towards paralysis shuriken as well. This area here on the skill tree is specifically more for against like human type enemies as opposed to yokai. We'll cover more on that a little bit later. They're all fine. We could also use our yokai shift in this boss fight. Samurai stuff, I'm just going to get some bits and bobs in that corner there. I'll do for now. Not sure if we can get Renegade Dragon just yet. Not just yet, but we can get that one, so we'll get that. That should do. I've not checked the titles for a while. I actually forgot about that, so yeah, make sure to check your titles and stuff as well. We'll go for Other realm resistance, yokai ability damage, meter earned, extended shift, animate charge. We should just go for those, keep going through those. This one we will go for elixir efficiency, key recovery speed, life, key. That should do for those. Rest up. Pop a few levels as well. Going to go for Dex. 34 Dex. See if we can ready any more bits and bobs. No, that should be fine for now. I'm going to use a fruit here actually. We've got full magic and rest. So, how we're looking for this boss fight is we've got the feathers on the first shortcut, and then we've got sacred water, purification, and the kunai shuriken. We've got salt and the fruit as well. Might be worth looking to see if we can get some extra sacred water. We could if we had more divine rice, I think. So I'm actually going to go ahead and just get rid of some lower level stuff. See if we can get some. I'm actually carrying the max, so fair play. But yeah, if you want to stock up on some elixirs and stuff before this boss fight, I would recommend going in with as many elixirs and as many sacred waters as you can do. So make sure to top up on those bad boys by doing that. Getting some divine rice and topping up. Other than that, let's jump into it. We'll just be spamming the salt. Once again, don't forget this hot spring just here that we grabbed before. We'll be spamming the salt, purification talismans, basically putting on purification to the enemy. You can also use these blue graves if you want to summon allies and stuff for the battle itself. Other than that, let's jump into it. I'm going to use a talisman, sacred water. And just spam a lot of feathers and purification and salt. I'm going to try and use the salt first of all, so I'm going to head on up to him and throw the salt. Heal up. Go for feathers. Heal up. Go Dark Realm. Heal up. You can also go Yokai Shift here as well, which is probably a good idea to Yokai Shift in the Dark Realm. Hold down strong attack to power up your ability. Go to heal up. Don't forget you've got your kunai as well. We've not used any kunai. Kunai does like quite a lot of damage in this fight as well. So that was a bit spicy. It wasn't the smoothest of boss fights in the world, but yeah, essentially what we did with that is use the feathers. We were using the salt when we were close by the enemy, so essentially with the salt you've got to be right next to him, and it just kind of throws it in front of your character like so. You've literally got to be that close for the salt to take effect. What that will do on yokai enemies is just delete their key bar. It also applies purification, and then you can combine that with your feathers to have the 2 different debuffs on at the same time. Apply the confusion status, and then just delete the enemy. And like I say, with the Dark Realm, I'd recommend popping into your yokai shift, and it helps you through that Dark Realm phase, because it is really, really powerful in that phase, and it does pack an insane punch. Yeah, so just be careful of that. Other than that, that is the end of the stage. So hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you did, remember to like, subscribe, and comment. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.